Are you looking to grind really quickly without trying to farm for Kates or trying to do Bewildering's Grace for who knows what percentage of luck that may even come with it? Well, now you can. And it's relatively simple to do, although it does have a couple of prerequisites that you do need in order to get it going. I will quickly mention that there's maybe a tiny bit of spoilers, but not something that will completely ruin the experience, so just keep that in mind as we go in. In order to get this XP grind going, you will need to do two things. First, you'll need to finish Partitio's story so that you could hire the person that could potentially give you the modifier to get all this XP and or JP if you're lucky enough. And second, you'll either need 160,000 leaves or you could use Agnea to recruit the person. Although in my opinion, the former is going to be much more reasonable since by that point, you'll more than likely have the money to hire basically anybody anytime. Because of this, if you do end up having to hire at night, you will also have to complete the side story that comes with it, which is relatively simple to do. Just talk to Misha in the respective room, get information from two of these NPCs, return back to Misha, and you're basically done. At that point, you'll be able to hire Auron and get everything going. Next, you want to go to Mary Hills, which is one of the later areas in the game. Just step outside and you'll want to find a thief that only shows up at night, which is pretty much right next to the exit of Mary Hills. That being said, before you go towards the NPC, I would highly recommend doing a couple things, including equipping any of your characters with XP boosting skills or items, such as XP Augmenter, Life in the Shadow from the Thief, which I don't exactly know what the modifier is, but I'm fairly certain it's higher than the Scholar, which grants extra experience, at the cost of just costing more SP. But again, I feel like by that point, you'll probably have it anyway. And there are definitely a lot of other accessories and items that you can use that boost XP in battles, but these are some of the more accessible, more notable options, especially since two of them are locked behind jobs. So once you have these equipped, you can go all the way to the NPC, which again, you'll find just by going up from the Mary Hills exit and going all the way down to a ladder. You'll find them there at night. And once challenged, you basically have to summon Auron so that he could potentially roll the 100 XP or 100 JP modifier. And what I would also recommend is that before doing any of this, you save, because there's always a possibility that you may not roll any of these modifiers, and having to go get Auron again could be a bit of an issue, especially if you don't have all that money to spare, nor want to spend that money, which is totally reasonable. It's much more time consuming that way as well. After that point, you could just summon Aurons up to 3 times with 6 potential chances at getting the modifier that you want. If it doesn't work, reload, do it again until you get it, and then defeat the enemies. I would highly recommend also bringing Temenos for this fight, because once you get Temenos to a really high level, you could get Aurons back after that point, and it won't cost you any money, just level guidance. So for the 2 things that you absolutely should do in this is A, use any sort of XP boosting item or skill, and B, use Temenos so that if you want to grind your other travelers, then you can, because Temenos can just get you Aurons for free. It's also worth highlighting that this is a one-time fight, so after you beat them, you can't fight them again, at which point you would just want to grab Aurons and grind in some higher level areas so that you could at least have your travelers catch up to some extent. And that's all you need to do to get it going. Let me know if you do end up using this in the end. I don't necessarily know if it's necessary to do it, because by a certain point, gear becomes more important than your level, since they grant the most stat modifiers. But if you do end up needing it, then here you go. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.